Multiple Washington state bills have passed today.
And a local mural is back at square one. Murrow News 8 starts now.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening. I'm Natalie Newcomb.
And I'm Luke Walker. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The investigation into a Washington State University student at his fraternity house was released. The 19-year-old Samuel Hector Martinez died at the Alpha Tau Omega house in November 2019. The Whitman County coroner ruled that he died due to acute alcohol intoxication. His ethanol level was over 0.37. Chief Jenkins said they conducted an extensive 75-person interview which caused a delay in the case, which resulted in not having enough evidence for a misdemeanor. However, it is now the decision of the Whitman County Prosecutor's Office if they want to pursue more serious charges of felony manslaughter. The fraternity has lost its recognition from WSU, and Martinez's family is suing the local chapter, some of its members, and WSU and King County Superior Court. The End Racism Now mural is officially back at square one. Murrow News 8's Christian Garza has the story.
Thanks, Natalie. So yes, I am here in downtown Pullman on the corner of Spring Street and Main Street, right in front of the area where the End Racism Now mural was originally set to be painted. The Pullman City Council decided on February 23rd that they were going to restart the submission process to make things clearer for the artists and their submissions. The City Council had decided that there will be a subcommittee of 3 council members that will kind of define the criteria and move the submissions along in the direction that the city would like. The subcommittee is set to report back to the City Council on March 9th at their next meeting with more information. Live from downtown Pullman, I'm Christian Garza with Murrow News 8.
A bill providing property relief for victims of the Labor Day firestorms is moving forward in Olympia. Over 200 buildings in Washington were destroyed in the fires. The bill exempts residents who lost their homes from paying property taxes for 3 years if the home is being rebuilt or improved. The bipartisan bill unanimously passed the Senate's Ways and Means Committee and now heads to the Senate Rules Committee before it can reach the Senate floor.
There is 1 new coronavirus today in Whitman County. There are also 3 new cases of the virus that bring the county's total to 44 deaths since the pandemic started and over 3,300 confirmed cases.
The Moscow School District is finalizing plans to shift its school in person 4 days a week following spring break. The elementary, middle, and high school students in Moscow will move to in-person instruction Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday every week, with Wednesday remaining online. The first week back, students will receive online instruction on Monday, March 22nd, and attend in person for the rest of the week.
The proposal to ban Native American mascots in Washington is advancing to the state Senate. The proposal bans Native American names, symbols, and images from being used in school mascots, logos, and team names at most public schools in Washington. The ban does not apply to schools located in or adjacent to Native American land on the condition that the nearest tribe has been consulted and approved the use of the name. If approved, the school districts will have some time to phase out mascots, team names, and logos.
The Washington State Senate approved a measure requiring police to intervene if they see a fellow officer using excessive force. The bill would also require officers to report any wrongdoing by another officer to their supervisor and would prohibit retaliation against the officer who intervenes or files report. The bill passed 28-1 Tuesday.
WSU is renaming the Spark Academic Innovation Hub building. It will now be known as the PACCAR Lecture Hall. This comes after receiving a donation from PACCAR, the Fortune 500 company that builds trucks that is based in Bellevue, Washington. The building is WSU Pullman's newest instructional facility that is used often for large meetings, symposia, and other special events.
WSU Children's Science podcast Dr. Universe is working with Regional Theater of Palouse to help answer questions related to science. WSU Communications Coordinator of Marketing and Communications and Science writer Rachel Weber is the voice of the character Dr. Universe. Dr. Universe is a fictitious cat who answers science-based questions. Weber hopes that this podcast and the recent partnership will encourage young students to ask questions. A COVID vaccine that you could only take once.
And an update on Stevens Pass and its potential avalanches. Murrow News 8 will be right back.
Just hours ago, federal officials announced Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine is strong enough to only need one dose. A final decision from the FDA is expected within the week to determine whether the vaccine is pushed into service. Johnson & Johnson's shot would become the third vaccine option. However, today's available vaccines require 2 shots over several weeks to be effective. Johnson & Johnson's single shot option was found to be roughly 85% effective in preventing the most serious symptoms of COVID.
With a major disaster now declared in the state of Texas over preventable power outage, officials are facing frustrations on many fronts. For some customers that are lucky enough to even have power, rates skyrocketed by more than 10 times their average price. One homeowner in Fort Worth told NBC News his bill for this month was over $17,000. Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced a moratorium on canceled services for customers who are unable to pay. No word yet if the state will allow its energy providers to enforce bills reaching into the thousands. Texas deregulated its energy grid almost 20 years ago. Federal regulations would have mandated the Texas electrical grid to be prepared to handle the extreme cold.
The large amounts of snow around the Central Cascade Mountain passes in Washington have been making travel difficult. The Stevens Pass was shut down Monday evening and into Tuesday after a snowslide blocked the highway. Snoqualmie Pass remained open at the time but was shut down for a bit earlier this morning for avalanche control. According to the Northwest Avalanche Center, this is the first time in years they have worried about severe avalanches. Both passes are currently open for travel. A winter weather advisory is on the way. Asia Farrington has the weather report.
Thank you, Natalie. So for today, we are seeing winds of about 10 miles per hour. We have a low of 35, high of 35, and a low of 22. Partly cloudy for most of the day with some bursts of sun in there. Definitely a lot warmer than we have been seeing recently. But don't put your jackets away just yet, because for tomorrow we are seeing the winds pick up to about 20 miles per hour, and we also see a winter weather advisory set for 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now we see the low for 31 and the high for 39, so we can expect the precipitation for tomorrow to be mostly snow, but maybe a mix of rain as well. Going over to Washington State, the entire map, you can kind of see Seattle and Olympia are in the mid-40s with a partly sunny forecast. Over here for Yakima and Tri-Cities, we're seeing 50 degrees and sunny. And for Pullman and Spokane, we're seeing partly cloudy and 40-30 degrees. Pretty much just sunny with a slight chance of shivers for all of Washington State here. Looking at the 5-day forecast now, obviously we have our winter weather advisory for Thursday. For Friday, it's going to be picking up with a high chance of snow. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it's going to be kind of warming up here. So we got some sun for Saturday and partly cloudy for Sunday and Monday. Now, one thing for Saturday through Monday is that there is a 20% chance of precipitation. So whether that be rain or snow, be sure to not leave your umbrellas at home. That's all I have for weather. Back at the desk.
Thanks, Asia. We have an update on Tiger Woods and his car accident.
And details on the newly released NBA schedule coming up on Murrow News 8.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, with early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Day 1 of the 2021 Pac-12 Women's Swimming Championships begin today at the University of Houston CRWC Natatorium. The first day of the event will feature the 800-yard freestyle relay and the 400-yard medley relay. The championship will be a 4-day span concluding on Saturday with live coverage on Pac-12 networks and additional coverage on the Pac-12 Now app. Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva says Tiger Woods was not drunk during the single-car accident that seriously injured the golf superstar on Tuesday, saying the rollover crash was purely an accident. Villanueva said his department would not be filing any charges against Wood for the crash and would consider it a misdemeanor at most. Woods, who suffered multiple open fractures in his right leg and a shattered ankle, is stable and recovering in his hospital room, according to a statement on his Twitter account. The Washington State men's golf team posted a second-place finish at the Joust tournament on Tuesday, February 23rd. Fifth-year senior Nicholas Chime posted a top-10 finish for the Cougs as he completed his play shooting 6 over par. The second-place finish at the Joust marks WSU's highest team finish outside of Pullman in 7 seasons when they captured the team title at the Pacific Invitational back in 2014. The Cougars will be back in action March 8th when they travel to compete in the Bandon Dunes Championship in Bandon, Oregon. The NBA released its schedule for the second half of the regular season live on ESPN's The Jump this afternoon, laying out how it plans to have all 30 teams play 72 games despite the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. However, due to postponement issues, the San Antonio Spurs and Memphis Grizzlies have the most games to be played, with each having to cram 40 games into a 68-day stretch. On the other end of the spectrum, though, are the LA Clippers, who will only have 34 games to be played in a 67-day period. As a result, the second half schedule will conclude on Sunday, May 16th, and the NBA playoffs will begin on Saturday, May 22nd.
What national day is it? Hint, it might be your favorite chip.
Find out when we come back.
Today is National Tortilla Chip Day. A new study used Google search data to find it the most popular tortilla chip day in every state. Washington's most popular dip is salsa.
Thanks for watching us. And if you missed anything or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/MNA, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night.